There we are. All right. Welcome, 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 everyone. This is the Market Your Smarts strategic whiteboard session. So it is not one of these kind of passive, sit around, look at the slides, stare out the window, look at your shoes, see what's going on kind of things. This is meant to be very participative, very interactive. It should be very enlightening as far as looking at 9 specific areas of your business and where you're strong and where you're not so strong and what you can do to get stronger and bigger and better and faster and seal up some gaps and maybe even accelerate progress in the areas where you're already good to very good. So that is what we're here to take care of today. And let's see. Sam is in the chat. And so if, in case you did not get the handout in the morning email, in case you did not get the handout in the email that came out about 20 minutes ago, we have the handout for you here in the chat as a downloadable 1-page PDF. So only because as people are coming in, right, the chat is not persistent. So people are like, why is she reposting that all the time? It's because the people that are coming in do not see what you and I see with the chat history before they came in. So if I were to make one wish, one request of the Zoom Corporation, it would be persistent chat. That even when you come in, whatever chat has happened before should be visible to you, but they haven't worked that out yet. Okay. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's dig in. I have lots and lots and lots of cool things to share with you. So I am super excited. We are going to do a Q&A. We're going to save the questions for the end, only because this is going to be a fully participative, self-scoring, very interactive on the chat. So get your fingers warmed up, get your, put the racing stripes on your mouse pad, and let's get started. All right, I'm going to share my screen, and we will tempt the technology gods, and we will see how we do. We will see how we do. Ba-bam. So there you go. This is your self-diagnostic tool. I made yours a little bit darker. Yours is a little bit darker than this example because the last outing here, people said it's really, really faint. So what we have for you is these 3 circles, right? 3 intersecting circles. Let's do a little sketchy action here. 1, 2, and 3. I'm about to explain these to you here in a moment. So you'll see exactly what you're looking at. These 3 circles. And then what you have around the outside are these 9 little segments, 9 little orange slices that are out here around the outside. Now, I just totally screwed that up. You do not want to make yours look that ugly, but that's the diagnostic. And let me explain sort of what's going to happen as we go through. I'm just going to erase. Isn't this fun? Woohoo! Takes you right back to like 3rd grade, doing all kinds of fun coloring, watercolors, finger paints on the iPad. As we go through, I am going to walk you through the first section here, and we're going to do a little self-scoring diagnostic. So you're going to give yourself a score, so let's say that, 1 through 4 is red, and then 5 through 8 is yellow, and 9 and 10 is green. And as we go through, I'm going to have an operative question to help you. And you're going to say, well, on that, I'm sort of a 5. So you're going to start to score yourself. And by the time we're done with this, which will probably be 25 or so minutes from now, you're going to look like this. You're going to have 1s, 2s, maybe this is a 7, this is a 5, and not so good down here. This is terrible. This is okay, but not great. And this is not great. It's to look like this, and we're going to have a series of scores around these 9 different business accelerators. So that's how the handout works. I just wanted to have that available to you and let you know what's going on. Let me actually, just so I don't distract myself here, I am going to go into kind of full screen visual mode here. And let's figure out how you are doing on just this spectrum. And there's really 3 different keys that I want us to focus on today. Most of the folks that we work with, high fee experts, consultants, coaches, trainers, online course creators, these are the 3 things that they really want to get dialed in. Thing number 1 is better clients. And there's an operative question here, and this is part of your self-scoring assessment, so we'll go interactive in the chat here in a moment. But the interactive question to ask yourself and to rate yourself on is this one. How can I win attention from high-level clients with need, budget, and desire for the outcomes that I provide? Now, here is the self-scoring system. When you're not great at this, it looks like this. These are clients that are transactional clients, very needy, very picky, quick to crucify you on any grounds whatsoever. They price shop you. They're tire kickers. They're the ones that complain. They're the ones that sap all of your energy. I've got an acronym in here, PITA. That is not pita bread. That is pain in the ass. You have some pain in the ass clients, low-level transactional clients that really don't care about having a relationship with you. So that's your 1s, 2s, and 3s. 4, 5, 6 is vendor status, where you're getting the work, but you're really sort of a vendor. There's no real relationship, and they'll drop you like a hot potato if something better comes along. So those are your 4, 5, 6s. 7, 8, and 9 are what I call pretend partnerships. Now, these clients are better, but they will still leave you if something better comes along. Or you'll have a long relationship with them, 10-year relationship, 15-year relationship, until, God forbid, you make a mistake, and then it's over. Where you really want to get to, a 9 and 10 on this scale, is true partners who are willing to pay, able to pay, and eager to pay. So right now, just on a piece of paper or on your 3 meatball diagram, where do you fall on this? Are we more in this area here? Are we more in the amber zone, which is kind of like here? Are we, pretend partnerships? Some clients are okay and some are even good. Or do you really focus in on true partnerships where most of your clients are high-end clients, high-level clients with need, budget, desire? They love you, you love them, and it's just a whole general love fest. So that's question number 1. Feel free to score yourself there. The spectrum is 1 to 10. And let's pop that in the chat. Where are we on the better clients? And this is an evolution, right? This is a spectrum. It's a continuum. But pop in the chat. What's the number that you scored yourself right now on the better clients scale? What is your better clients scale? All righty. So we've got, wow, interesting. We've got some 7s, some 8s, some 9s, all the way down to 0. We're in the 9, 10 range. 7s. Okay, that's good. When we get into the nitty-gritty detail here, there's going to be 3 specific accelerators that will help you with this. So 4s, 5s, 5 through 8. All right, good numbers here. Good numbers. 4 to 5. I'm seeing. Let's go to the next measure, which is bigger deals. And bigger deals are important because the operative question here is, how can I start closing larger, more transformational deals and stop the cycle of selling one-offs? Let me just put that in a little rectangle there for you. Stop the cycle of one-offs. Now, again, 1 to 10 scale. Every deal is transactional. Those are the drive-by one-off clients. Very tough to make a nice living with drive-by one-off clients all the time. 4, 5, 6 is some of the time you're successful in upselling, cross-selling. They buy multiple things from you. 7s and 8s are a nice mix of short-term and long-term work. And then the bar for green here is pretty high. Most, if you're a 9 or a 10, most of your deals are long-term and recurring, and you are totally out of the transactional business, the short-term business, and the one-off business. So again, it's a continuum, it's a spectrum. Pop in the chat, where are you on the bigger deals spectrum right now? Where are you on the bigger deals spectrum? Lots of one-offs, occasionally upselling and cross-selling once in a while, good balance of short-term and long-term, or most of your deals are relational and long-term. So let's see where we're at. All right, good, good, good. Very nice. So long-term, but not recurring. That's interesting. Sure. 4s, 5s, 1 through 3, 6 through 8. Gotcha. Good. So good mix. And then let's go to the third one before we dive into the detail here. The third one is one of my favorites, as you could probably guess, one of my favorites, which is higher fees. Operative question under higher fees is, how can I escape the price-driven sale? How can I escape the price-driven sale and command premium fees more consistently? And let me again put premium fees and more consistently in a box, because that's really what this is about. So this used to be me, and this used to be, I guess, many of us, is 1, 2s, and 3s, any project at any fee. Second level up from that is you might start out with some decent pricing, but you suffer from discounting disease. No matter where it starts, it always kind of falls apart and you end up bidding or doing the lowest common denominator. Average comparative fees, you think you're doing okay, but the problem with average comparative fees is actually two things. Number one, they're average. Number two, they're comparative. So there's still some downward price pressure and you're still competing on price. Or 9 and 10, where you really want to be. And again, this is a high bar, pretty exclusive, rare air here. Premium fees are expected 3 to 10 times what they were back here in the red zone. 3 to 10 times what they were back here in the red zone. So on the higher fee spectrum, let's see the snapshot. Where are you at this particular moment? Are you David Newman, 2002, 2003? Any project, any fee, anytime. Any warm body with a check looked pretty good to me back in 2002, 2003. And then discounting disease, there's permanent long-term cures for that we'll talk about. Average comparative fee structure, you think you're doing good, but it really could be a whole lot better. Or high fee nirvana, which is premium fees are expected. Most of your clients are coming in at that premium level 3 times to 10 times what you used to charge when you were in the red zone. So let's see where that is. All right, so 7s, 8s, 4s, 8, 9, 10. So pretty good spread across the board. Pretty good spread across the board. 6, aiming for premium, probably 6 or 7 right now. That's a good distinction. Absolutely. All right, good. Good progress. So let's figure out what the building blocks of this really look like for you. And there are three primary outcomes to get to where you want to be with better clients, to get to where you want to be with the bigger deals, and to get to where you want to be with the higher fees. There are 3 areas that we need to accelerate. 3. The first area, of course, is marketing. Stabilized marketing. The reason stabilized marketing is important is because there are a ton of Me Too, look-alike, sound-alike, act-alike experts, coaches, consultants, speakers, and trainers who look like they do what you do. Notice that distinction. They don't do what you do because you're magic, you're special, you're awesome, but it looks like that they do what you do. So what we really need to do here is we need to move from generalist positioning to expert specialist positioning. If we do the marketing job right, and I'll break that down, and we'll do some more self-diagnostics on this, but that's really the move for stabilized marketing. The second area, of course, is sales. Stronger sales, moving from sporadic sales success to consistent sales success. And the third lever, of course, is systematic growth, getting you out of the slow growth, no growth, kind of incremental stops and starts, and really unleashing some sources of exponential growth. So let me map out what this looks like when you start to combine some of these things. Better clients. Better clients, the verb to think about here is stabilize, right? You're now moving into specialist positioning. You've got consistency in the sales process. When you get those two going, you are going to be able to attract better clients here and close better clients here. That's the stabilized leg of the stool. If we look down here, bigger deals is really about strengthen. So the operative verb there is strengthen. Why are we strengthening? Because now we have our sales dialed in, and we have some systematic growth, some revenue multipliers, some strategies that will separate your value from your personal time, attention, and presence. And we're going to come back to that concept of value separate from your personal time, attention, and presence. Now, higher fees come from a combination of stabilized marketing and some growth factors being introduced into your business. So people don't buy from you once, they buy from you multiple times, and you build out what we call an integrated product suite. The verb here is elevate. And this elevates you to a better caliber of client and greater client lifetime value. So better clients, higher fee clients who repeat, refer, and recommend. And once you've got stabilize, strengthen, and elevate, that takes you right into the sweet spot of where you want to be, which is in a high fee expert business, right? In fact, there's no coincidence here. I'm going to draw a little shape around this, that when you have all three of these working, you will love your business again. You will fall back in love with your business again, because now you've got the clients that you've always wanted. You've moved away from the transactional small potatoes kinds of work, and you are getting compensated, and compensated well, by clients who love you, who respect you, and who want to see you succeed. So that's what we're here to look at. And then the 9 accelerators, there's 3 in each of these areas, and we're going to go into what each of those looks like. Let me share with you, before we get to that, what does it look like when one or more of these is missing? Because that's another way to diagnose what you might have going on in your business right now. So let's start if the marketing piece is missing. The marketing piece is missing, meaning that is no bueno with the marketing. The problem there, the symptom that you will start to experience, is what I call, you're the big secret. You're the best kept secret. Once clients buy from you, and they do buy from you because you've got your sales skills dialed in, you've got your growth accelerators dialed in, to a new prospect, you're a total stranger. No track record, no credibility, no visibility. They have no idea who you are. So when the marketing piece is missing, the problem, the challenge is you're the best kept secret, or you feel like you're the best kept secret. Now, let's put that back. Let's say that is fine. That's working great, as a matter of fact. And what you might be missing is the sales. When the sales are not happening, you may have great marketing and you may have some great ideas for systematic growth, but the problem here, big dreams. And I don't mean in a good way. This is not your dream business, because if you can't sell, nothing else matters. You can generate leads all you want all day long. If we can't sell, if we can't convert, if we can't get a check, if we can't get a credit card, it doesn't matter how many growth factors you have. Oh, I'm going to have an online course. I'm going to have licensing. I'm going to have certification. I'm going to have all these big dreams, but you can't sell anything. That is a business that is big dreams, all hat and no cattle. And we don't want all hat and no cattle, but that's a symptom that you might recognize if that circle is missing, funky, broken, or sad. And then let's look at the third leg of the stool that might break. Third leg of the stool is you got the marketing dialed in, you have the sales dialed in, but we have a growth problem. If this happens, it's what I call big busyness, where your lead generation is fine, you're able to convert and sell, but what are you selling? You're selling your time. You're selling your time, you're hitting your ceiling of complexity, you're getting busier and busier and busier, and at some point that model is going to break because there's no exponential growth factors, there's no revenue multipliers, there's nothing here that is separate from your personal time, attention, and presence. The problem with that is you get busier and busier and busier and more exhaustion, and the problem is that there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. So those are the three symptomatic issues. Big secret if the marketing isn't dialed in, big dreams if the sales isn't dialed in, and big busyness if you don't have the exponential growth factors dialed in. All right, let's start solving this for you. That's the fun part of this. Okay, first one. Stabilized marketing, moving from generalist to specialist. Crystal clear positioning. Here's where you're going to start to score yourself. Here's where I want you to grab your handout, grab the diagram. I'm going to give you an operative question for each of these 9 areas. Once you hear the question, you're going to score yourself and put that in a circle right next to that particular accelerator. So let me explain what I mean by crystal clear positioning. Here's the question to score yourself. How effective, appealing, and clear is your answer to so what do you do? Does it sound like, look like, act like everybody else that does what you do? Or does it immediately position you as a category of one? That's the real question here. So let me ask you to score yourself on that question. How effective, appealing, and clear is your answer to so what do you do? And I'll tell you why this is important. To generate quality leads, you need to have your positioning dialed in with exactly which clients you serve and exactly which problems you solve. Anything squishy, anything vague, anything generic is only going to hurt you. So let's see what some of these numbers are. And feel free, I mean, you're putting it on your handout, but also put it in the chat so I can take a look. What is your self-scoring crystal clear positioning? All right, we got 4s, 8s, 2s, 5, 8, 7. This is not, now remember, this is not according to you. I want to clarify this. People are like loving on themselves. Oh, I'm a 9. I'm awesome. Man, people fall all over themselves when they hear what I do. This is how crystal clear is it? How appealing is it to your prospects? To your prospects. That's the real key. And the more objective you are, the better. 99% of the people we work with, this is a hot mess disaster. This is a classic place where American Idol syndrome starts to kick in. You think it's awesome, but it is not working in the marketplace in any way, shape, or form. So just a heads up that it might be clear to you, but it's not clear to them. It might be clear to you, but it's not clear to them. All right, let's move on. And by the way, one of the ways to fix this is with a process that we call your verbal business card. And your verbal business card specifically talks to the who and the what. So who you serve and what you solve, right? But again, specifics always beat generalities. So we're going to come back to that. And that also is a piece of the messaging puzzle. So let's move on to piece number 2. Piece number 2 is, in fact, distinct messaging. Here's the question to score yourself on. To what extent do prospects immediately see how you are better, cooler, faster, and smarter versus your competitors? To what extent do your prospects immediately see how you are better, cooler, faster, and smarter versus competitors? Because in order to escape commodity status, you need to articulate exactly how your services are not easily interchangeable with any other service provider. So, as you're answering that, let me give you an example. Let's just go with consultants. Consultants, the problem is all consultants generally look the same. Consultant, 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 consultant. Oh, you know what? Hang on, wait a second. This consultant got sick. Oh, well, that's okay. You know what? We'll just replace him with another consultant. That's what I mean by interchangeable. And this sounds cruel, this sounds cold, but these are interchangeable parts. The question for you on the distinct messaging is, what are you doing to elevate yourself above everyone else that says they do what you do so that you look like this, right? You are head and shoulders above everybody else, and you are not a replaceable cog in the machine. So this is distinct messaging. This is distinct messaging. What's your score? What's your score on the distinction, the distinct messaging that where they immediately see how you're better, cooler, faster, and smarter versus any competitor or any alternative? All right, so we've got 3 and 4, 5, 7, 7, 6, 7, 5, 6, 5. Okay, so we're getting a little bit more realistic here, which is good. And again, there's not a contest. This is an area for improvement. So the more honest you are with your assessment, Ben says 3 to 9. Well, 3 to 9 is like, 0 to 1,000. I'm not sure where you are. You can drive a truck between 3 and 9, Ben. So you need to sort of settle in somewhere in that range. This is really, really important. That's going to be more important when we get into a sales conversation, because the sales conversation really starts with the distinct messaging. If they think they can get it somewhere else for less, trust me, they will. Write that down somewhere. If they think they can get the same thing that you're easily interchangeable, they will. And who wouldn't? You would too. You would too, by the way, because we're all human beings. All right, next one. Compelling offers. Compelling offers. This is the third and final accelerator in moving you into a stabilized marketing mode, generalist to specialist. Here's the question to score yourself. To what extent do your current services, programs, and offers, quote unquote, sell themselves? Meaning that they are bought and they do not need to be sold quite so hard. So let me explain this. There are services that are bought and there are services that are sold. Services that are bought, as soon as you tell someone what it is, they are very excited. They are very excited and they want that immediately. So that takes all of the pushing, the pulling, the convincing, the pulling the mules up the mountaintop, that goes away. As opposed to things that need to be sold, things that need to be sold need an awful lot of convincing and persuading and meetings and meetings about the meetings and everything else. Time goes up, effort goes up, everything goes up, because this model is a push model. This model is a pull model. So when I say, to what extent do your current services, programs, and offers sell themselves? Here's the scoop. The more that your services and programs are in demand, the easier it is to sell in spite of yourself. Let me repeat that, because that's kind of a profound statement. You might not have a leads problem. You might not even have a sales problem. You might have an offer problem. So the more your services and programs are in demand, the easier it is to sell in spite of yourself. And we have a whole bunch of clients on this call, of course, this will get you out of the persuading and convincing business, because nobody on this call should be in the persuading and convincing business. The business that you should be in when this is dialed in is you are in the filtering and sorting business. Meaning, some people love this offer and they will buy it. And other people, they don't get it, they don't need it, they don't want it. Doesn't matter what you do. Does not matter what you do. The moment that you shift your offers into a filtering and sorting mode, everything gets easier. And I mean everything. So that's a pretty high bar, once again, but let's see how you did. When people hear what you do, they say, oh my gosh, how soon can you start? Give me your card. We need to talk. We need to set up a meeting. This is exactly what we want. This is exactly what we need. So 3, 4, 6s, 3s. Okay, so this one's a problem area. This one's a problem area for some people, where your positioning might have been fine. Your messaging might have been okay. It might have been yellow. But this is looking like it's yellow and red for some more people than the first ones were. So that's good. And we're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that. Let's move on now to sales. Let's talk about where we are on the sales spectrum. The first thing you want to think about when it comes to moving away from sporadic hit and miss sales and moving to consistency in your sales process is, how targeted are your leads? How targeted are your leads? Here's the question to score yourself. How deliberate, specific, and targeted are your efforts to get in front of your ideal clients who are eager to engage? Now, the last part of that is important. How deliberate, specific, and targeted are you in your efforts to get in front of your ideal clients who are eager to engage? Not get in front of any clients. Because the better you are at client selection, the worse you can be at everything else. Let's talk about a buyer and a seller. This is you, right? You're the seller, and this is your buyer. You do not want to talk to any buyer, anytime, anywhere, for any reason. You want to target a very specific buyer who is much more likely to like what you have to say, so that they, in turn, not only are you attracting them, but they are attracted to you. So the moment that you start to zero in, and I mean really zero in, on this kind of buyer, and this is the only person that you're talking to, this is the only type of prospect, the only type of decision maker that you're buying to, will all of them say yes? Of course not. Some of them will say yes, some of them will say no, but every sales conversation will be fun again. Every sales conversation will not be a source of dread or fear or abuse, because you're no longer looking for love in all the wrong places. You now know who are your people and who are not your people. You know where to find them. You know what to say and send when you get there. The entire conversation is a peer-to-peer conversation about an exchange of value, and you are no longer talking to any prospect, anywhere, anytime, trying to spam the universe, trying to go broad instead of go deep. What this means is that your prospecting does need to go deep. It does not need to go broad. We're not trying to boil the ocean and talk to lots and lots of people. We're trying to talk to the right people and have a meaningful conversation with them. So, score of 1 to 10. What is your deliberate, self-scoring rather, on your deliberate, specific, targeted efforts to get in front of not any clients, but your ideal clients who are eager to engage? Eager to engage. All right, it's 5, 7s, more 5s, 1, 8, 3, 8, 7, 2, 6, couple of 7s, 9. Laura says, I can see this is a weak point. 4, 6. Okay, so progress to be made here as well. Progress to be made here as well. Let's go on to the next sales accelerator, which is optimized outreach. Optimized outreach. Here's the question to score yourself. How often do you proactively open sales conversations from a focused, written, finite, workable list of prospects? Each one of those words is important. Focused, written, finite, workable list of prospects. So, and we have a system and a methodology in our programs. And again, the clients that are on the call have already seen this and heard this. We call it the active 20. The active 20 is your fast pass to optimized outreach, because the active 20 is a list. It's exactly this list of focused, written, finite, workable list of prospects. So these are 20 executives, entrepreneurs, economic buyers, decision makers, call them what you want. They have real names, they have real faces, they have real phone numbers, they have real email addresses, they have real LinkedIn accounts. And how many of them are there? There are 20 of them that are active on your radar at any time. If I went to most of your offices right now and I said, hey, show me your active 20, show me your written, finite, focused list of prospects that you are working right now, I'm guessing that maybe 1% of you would have something like this, and maybe 25% of our clients. Even our clients are sometimes reluctant to do this. It's, oh yeah, active 20, I should do that. I did that last month and it worked out really well. And it worked so well, I stopped doing it. So yeah, it works so well, don't stop doing it. Keep doing it. So, operative question. How often do you proactively open sales conversations? It's an activity question. It's an activity question. How often do you proactively open sales conversations from a list like the one I just described? And let's see what the numbers are. All right, 3, 0, 6, another 0. Thank you for your honesty, everybody. 6, 6, 3, 4. Okay, cool. Good. Let's keep the love train going here. Last part of sales, the part where you actually make the money, is reliable conversion. Reliable conversion. Here's the question. How often do you use a consistent, repeatable system of steps to take prospects from initial contact through to signed contract? Here's what I mean. If you have a system like this, step 1, step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At this point, one of two things happens. They say yes, and we do the deal. They say no, and we figure out some next steps or when to circle back. And this process This process here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It rarely varies. You are not winging it. It is pretty dialed in, and every sale, pretty much, not 100%, but pretty much rolls out the same way. If you have that, that's the 9 and 10 range. If it's like, oh yeah, sometimes I do this and sometimes I do that, and sometimes we have this kind of meeting and sometimes we have that kind of meeting, but it doesn't always work that way because sometimes they want this and then I do an RFP and then we do blah, 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 and it just becomes kind of a hot mess. If it's like a machine, that's a 9 or a 10. Because in order to convert more sales, you need a consistent process that turns conversations into clients at a 25% closing ratio or more. And again, I'll give you a little bit of a client secret sauce here. We talk about this in our program as 25, 10, 4, 1. What does that mean? That means that 25 contacts, 25 outreaches lead to 10 conversations. 10 conversations leads to 4 serious opportunities of some kind to sell something. And out of those 4, you are going to get 1 sale. That's what I mean by 25%. This is what I mean here. This is 25%. Now, if you're better at this, let's say you're 50%, right? Your 1 might become a 2. And that's great, but you can't be prospecting. This is not about cold calling, spamming the universe, sending out 10,000 emails, sending out 10,000 postcards. This is a hand-selected, hand-curated, very carefully chosen 25. It's the right 25. And then out of that, 10 conversations, 4 serious prospects. Here's where this breaks for some people. They say, David, I have no problem doing this. I have no problem doing this. I talked to 4 people. Nobody buys. 25, 10, 4, 1 is very different than 25, 10, 4, 0. So it's a world of difference. It's a gigantic difference. 25, 10, 4, 0 means that you have a serious sales and revenue and income problem. If we fix this one thing, if we literally just fix that one thing, and instead of 25, 10, 4, 0, we actually could jump that bridge pretty reliably and pretty consistently. So 4 serious prospects becomes 1 sale. Maybe you get really good at it. 4 serious prospects becomes 2 sales. Can you see how that would be a gigantic game changer for you? Notice there's no magic here, right? 25 outreaches, 15 people blow you off, say no thanks, say drop dead. You have 10 conversations, 6 of them not qualified, not the right time, not the right thing, using somebody else. 4 express some level of interest, right? Some they've raised their hand saying, yes, we're looking. Yes, this sounds good. Yes, tell me more. Out of those 4 opportunities, you make 1 sale happen. That is a world of difference from making 0 sales happen. And once you get this to a 1 or a 2, it's not that difficult to start putting more and better leads in here. And once you put more and better leads in here, every one of these numbers starts to go up. Every one of these numbers starts to go up, and you don't even need to change this number. You don't even need to change your closing ratio. But this is better quality, better quantity. Better quality, better quantity. Better quality, better quantity. Obviously, that's going to give you a better quality and a better quantity of closed deals as well. So let's see where you are on this one. All right, a little bit of a problem area, no problem. 1s, 2s, 6, 7. Some people are doing okay. They're in the yellow zone. 0, 3, 5, 5, 4, 8, 7, 0, 4, 4, 2. Better quality and better quantity. Yes, Laura, exactly right. Yeah, John says, game changer, game changer. It certainly could be. It certainly could be. And if this gives you some marching orders, some things to work on, some things to think about, that's the entire purpose of doing the self-assessment. All right, let's talk about systematic growth, area number 3. Here is the operative question. We're going to get funky now. We're going to get a little purple action going here. Revenue multipliers. Here's the magic question to score yourself. What percentage of your clients repeat, refer, upgrade, or buy multiple different services from you? Multiple different services from you. Because what you want to have happen is you want one sale to become 2 or 3. When you unlock the capability of doing this, you can even not be great at the sales stuff. You can say, you know what, I'm not great at this, but every one that I get becomes 2 or 3. So I no longer even need to be an awesome rock star over here, an amazing, incredible superstar over here, and a fantastic high converting ninja over here. I can take one sale and I can multiply, amplify, and magnify it, because once we're in, we are upselling, we are cross-selling, we are doing deeper work, bigger work, better work, and one project leads to another. So that is a short-term upselling and cross-selling revenue multiplier. Here's why this is important. If we don't do this, then we're stuck in one-off land. Then we're stuck in, one set of activities, one sale. To escape the feast and famine cycle, you need to increase client lifetime value and reliably convert one client engagement into 2 or 3 more. Now, we did this with our clients just the other day. I kind of rolled this out, gave them a little sneak preview. I don't mean that they buy something in year 1 and then they come back 2 years later, they buy something in year 3, they come back a year later, they buy something in year 4. I'm talking about the McDonald's revenue multiplier. When you walk in, there's the golden arches. You walk into McDonald's, you say, okay, I'm feeling kind of hungry. I would like a burger. They're going to say, hey, by the way, do you want fries with that? Do you want dessert with that? Do you want to supersize that? So you are making one trip. You are making one trip into Mickey D's, and you are buying multiple things that 2 or 3 or 4x the value of that transaction. Of course, they want you to come back. You're going to come back next week and next month and next year, and eventually you're going to buy 100 hamburgers from them. I'm talking about on a single visit in the door. How are you able to multiply the value of that first visit with upselling, cross-selling, and making sure that they are aware of everything else that is on your menu, so that in a short order, that first sale becomes sale number 2 and sale number 3. So score yourself on that. How are we doing on the revenue multipliers? Revenue multipliers. So this is definitely an area for growth, right? 1s, 0s, 3s, 5s, 6, 1, 2, 2, 7. Okay. The strategy, one of my favorite Alan Weiss quotes is, think about the 4th sale first. Think about the 4th sale first. What can you do in the sales process and in your diagnostic process to open up additional needs, additional gaps, additional services, additional ways that you can help? Don't just solve the problem at hand. Come in with a diagnostic toolkit that really solves the problem 2 times removed, 3 times removed, 4 times removed. And that's going to help you with the revenue multipliers. All right, let's move on. Scalable leverage. Scalable leverage is accelerator number 8. Here's the question. I made mention of this earlier, promised to come back to it. To what extent is your income dependent on your personal time, attention, and presence? In other words, have you built a business or have you just built yourself a nice job? Even if it's a nice, profitable job, is your value, is your economic value separate from your time, attention, and presence? So that you stop trading hours for dollars, you need to create assets and programs and revenue streams that can be built once and sold over and over and over again at scale. Let me share what I'm talking about. So this is an area where you want to think about things like digital programs, licensing, sponsorship, online courses, subcontracting to other coaches, trainers, and consultants, putting together kits or packages or implementation packs where they can take the course once and then license that material to continue the work after you've left the building. So this is the kind of thing where if you have this dialed in, right, you've got 2 or 3 of these up and running, and you could, again, God forbid, there's some health crisis, there's some personal tragedy, you're taken off the road, you're taken off Zoom, you're taken offline for the next 6 months. Your revenue does not go to zero. Your revenue does not go to zero because you have these investable opportunities that are sources of scalable leverage that are not dependent on your personal time, attention, or presence. So let's see some scores on scalable leverage. God forbid you're taken offline, you get sick, someone you love gets sick. Where's the business at? Do we have some scalable leverage? Do we have this insurance policy baked in to your business? So 1, 0, yeah, lots of 1s and 0s. I feel like I'm in a computer class. 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, okay, so this is definitely an area where we need to work. Definitely an area of improvement. Last one, and we would certainly not have the business that we have if it weren't for this. This is trusted team. Trusted team. Here's the question to score yourself. To what extent do you delegate, outsource, and hire for the tasks and roles that you know you should not be doing yourself? To what extent do you delegate, outsource, and hire? Let's put those 3 words here. Delegate, outsource, and hire for the specific roles and tasks that you know you should not be doing. You should not be doing. I'm talking about virtual assistants. I'm talking about operations manager. I'm talking about a fantastic COO. I'm talking like a training director. I'm talking about the subcontract coaches and trainers that we talked about during scalable leverage. Your ability to build a team of rock stars around you determines your level of growth and freedom. The best way to start doing this, and again, I told our client group this on last week, is do what I call the org chart of the future. The org chart of the future looks like this. Here's you at the top, and then you figure out what are the roles and responsibilities that you would love to delegate. Now, I got good news and I have bad news. The bad news is right now, every single one of these blocks is you. You, and you report to yourself, and you have meetings with yourself, and all of that is fantastic. The reason that you're building the org chart of the future is eventually you know that these are not going to be you. So when you say, you know what, I want to start subcontracting, I want to start hiring other trainers to go out under my banner. So you say, okay, org chart of the future contains 2 trainers. And you know what? I am long overdue to hire an awesome, amazing virtual assistant. I'm going to have a virtual assistant. And then you know what else I need? I need some help with marketing. So I am going to hire a marketing manager. And then you start to say, okay, well, that would be great. And not only do I want to have some subcontract people going out, I want to have an entire team of subcontract people going out. So now this person's going to move down here. Now I have a director of training. Not only is this marketing manager going to be great, this person's going to become my director of marketing. And under her, we're going to have 3 marketing assistants. And my VA is so awesome and amazing, like Sam McCracken, that she's going to become my operations manager, and she's going to become the nerve center of the business. And under the operations manager, we're going to have a couple of other assistants doing things like client work or shipping books and mailing stuff out and doing contracts and doing whatever you need them to do. And slowly but surely, and this won't happen by itself, slowly but surely, this will start to come to pass. But if you don't do this exercise, this org chart of the future exercise, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. This never happens by itself, right? You don't turn around and suddenly, oh my gosh, look what happened. 9 people work here now. This happens because you want it to happen. And this happens because you make it happen. That's what's exciting about this. So literally from VAs to subcontract coaches and trainers to your own COO, your ability to build a team of rock stars will determine your exponential success. Remember, we're not just fooling around here. This is going exponential. I've never seen a business go exponential with a solopreneur, single owner who never has any help of any kind. They don't need to be employees, but you need a team because you need these roles and tasks to be delegated, simplified, eliminated, outsourced, put them in the hands of someone who loves the work and who's way better at it than you are. So where are you on Trusted Team? I realize that was a big rant, but it's one that's near and dear to my heart. Where are you on Trusted Team? Trusted Team, Trusted Team, Trusted Team. Yeah, so we got some 1s, we got some 0s, we got some 2s, 1, 5, 5, just hired an OBM, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. So I would say this third meatball with revenue multipliers, scalable leverage, and Trusted Team is probably the area to focus on for some of you. Other folks have, specific problems all around. I want to see sort of how you did. Overall, and you don't need to do the math for me, but most people end up with a chart that looks something like this. It's like, yeah, well, I'm sort of red here, and these 2 are yellow, and it's green. Okay, to be honest, I got one thing that's green, but a lot of yellow, a lot of red. I'm going to invite you to consider what would your business look like if it truly looked like this. Put one word in the chat where all of these areas where you were doing 0, 3, 5, 6, and let's say it was just 9. I'm not even going to raise the bar to 10. Let's just call it 9. Let's say you're 9s across the board. Give me a feeling word. What would that look like with the crystal clear positioning completely dialed in? Distinct messaging. You are a category of 1. Compelling offers. The second people hear what you do, they say, oh my gosh, we have to book a call. We need what you do. We need to get you in here. Targeted leads. You're only talking to people who want to talk to you. Optimized outreach. Reliable conversion, where you're no longer guessing where your next client is coming from. Revenue multipliers that reliably convert 1 client into 2 or 3. Scalable leverage, where you are no longer selling your personal time, attention, and presence. and you are not doing your business alone because you have a trusted team of rock stars around you, and you can simplify and eliminate and delegate and outsource and spend a whole lot more time in your zone of genius and in your zone of fun. That's what this is about, staying in your zone of genius and staying in your zone of fun. So I love these words that are coming in: profitable, rock and roll, phenomenal, awesome, ecstatic, relief, freedom, heavenly, fulfillment, great, envision your future, another fulfilled, zone of fulfillment, and zone of genius, says Anne Marie. Easy, yes, oh my gosh, so much easier, so much easier. Yes, yes, yes. Envision this, make this, you can spend more time in your zone of genius. Loving my purpose, says John, the CEO sensei in the house. Yes, 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 and yes. Perfect. That's the vision that I want to connect you to. That is the feeling that I want to connect you to. Now, for your whole business, anything that we talked about today, I've got some invitations for you. If something that we talked about today out of these 9 accelerators is missing, I'm going to encourage you to add it. If something is messy, I'm going to encourage you to fix it, clean it up. If something feels misaligned, where you're doing it, but man, the puzzle piece isn't quite clicking into place, I'm going to invite you to pivot it. Pivot it, flex it, move it to where it needs to be. Pivot it, flex it, move it. If you're not sure how, I have a pretty cool invitation for you, which I would like to go over with you right now. It is, of course, our Expert Profit Formula Live event. Even though we'd love to see you in person, this is a 3-day virtual business growth conference. We're doing this 100% virtual via Zoom. So you do not need to travel. There's no hotel. There's no nothing. Here's where to get in on this. It's epflive.com. That is an information page. On the information page, it has all the details. So this is coming up on June 2, 3, and 4. It is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. U.S. Eastern, all 3 days. And we are going to work the specific curriculum for our 3 days together. We're going to spend day 1 on marketing and those 3 accelerators that you just saw. Let's go back. Here's the shizzy. All of this. I'm using the highlighter. Don't worry about it. All of this. This is what it looks like if you give an elephant a pen. If you give an elephant a pen, it looks like that. And all of this. So let's put that a little bit less crazy. It looks like graffiti. Day 1, day 2. Ooh, this looks cool. Kind of a day glow thing happening here on my iPad. So this is an integrated system. If you don't have all of these things dialed in, here and here and here, it is do not pass go, do not collect $200, right? You can't get there from here. If you have all of these things dialed in, that's great. If you don't, again, it is do not pass go, do not collect $200. So this is an integrated system. None of these topics, none of these, the strategies, the tactics, the tools, the exercises, the conversations that we're going to have over these 3 days, none of them stand alone. None of them stand alone. They are all dependent and interdependent on each other. I kind of like the way that Dayglow thing turned out. Anyway, let's get you in on this. It's Expert Profit Formula Live. epflive.com is what will get you there. The coupon code, very important. The coupon code is VIP. So when you get to that info page, you check out coupon code VIP. Make sure to hit this apply button. This apply button is super important. If you don't hit the apply button, you just type it in and then do enroll now, you're going to pay $997. I don't want you to pay $997 because we're going to take this down to $97 with that coupon code. So once you see that that has taken place, right, you're paying attention down here, and we've already had to give a whole bunch of people some $997 refunds because they forgot to hit apply, right? Once you see that, you know you're in the clear. Once you see that, that's when you hit the magic enroll now button, and then you are in for our 3-day extravaganza. And we will work on all of this in a very interactive, very experiential, very conversational way. It is not a 3-day webinar. We get that question a lot. Like, is it 3 days sitting in front of Zoom? This is going to be, you get an entire workbook. You get the entire training on all 9 of these accelerators. So wherever you are, wherever you're strong, you're going to get stronger. Wherever you're weak, you are going to develop a game plan to get better at all of these together. So what you're getting, I'll just walk through this real quick, then we'll open it up for some interactive Q&A. I'll take everybody off mute. 3-day live conference, remember virtual, no travel, world's best coffee, because it's coming out of your kitchen. The dates, June 2, 3, and 4, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We are doing, unlike today, we are doing hot seats where I'm going to bring you up on stage with me. We are doing mastermind sessions. We are doing networking sessions. We are doing skill building focused workshops. We are doing these deep dive trainings on everything around the model, the messaging, the lead generation, the fees, the high integrity sales conversations, the what to say, what to send at every step of that business development process. And you also get a one-on-one coaching session with our amazing team. So once again, all of that is at epflive.com. You can pop open a web browser there. Make sure to put in the coupon code VIP. PS, hit apply. That's going to be important. Apply button's going to be a little blue guy. Looks like that, right? And then you are in at the special rate. So we've got some limited spots, and I want to sweeten the deal here a little bit. So because everyone's getting a one-on-one, because we're doing hot seats, because we're doing all this kind of crazy, wonderful stuff, we're limiting attendance to ensure that everyone gets personal attention. Couple of bonuses for the folks that sign up right here, right now. If this sounds good to you, Charlie Posnick, who is on this call with us right now and is a critical part of my org chart of the future, you are getting a one-on-one with our amazing COO, Charlie Posnick. He is the left brain that runs our business. I am the right brain. I am the creative brain. I'm the idea guy. I'm the 100-mile-an-hour guy. Charlie is all about operations, system, finance, strategy, planning. So you get to talk to the real brains of the operation, which is Charlie Posnick, when you sign up at epflive.com. Again, coupon code VIP. The second thing that I want to throw in here to sweeten the deal a little bit further is we have our lead generation workshop. And even before the event on June 2, 3, and 4, we're going to unlock this lead generation workshop, and we're going to unlock the Platform Builder video series. Now, the Platform Builder video series, this puppy by itself, we sell standalone for $197. So between the one-on-one with Charlie, the lead generation workshop, the $197 Platform Builder video course, all of this gets you into our 3-day virtual, if I could spell that right, virtual business growth conference. And we are going to work on this hands-on, minds-on for 3 solid days. You are going to leave with the workbook completely filled in to help you make significant progress on all 9 of these accelerators. So I'm about to open it up for some Q&A here. I'll leave this on the screen just while we're chatting. And then if I need to sketch around or answer your questions, I also have some blank pieces of paper back here, and I can start to doodle and sketch note and get into some nitty-gritty detail if you want. But I would encourage you during our Q&A, while these bonuses are active, while we're talking right here, pop open a fresh tab, go to epflive.com. Coupon code is VIP. And let's, I am going to go into participants, and we're going to do allow participants to unmute. And there we go. And what I'd love to do, just so I can see your smiling faces on the screen here, use the raise your hand feature. Use the raise your hand feature on Zoom. So you're either going to go to the reactions button and say raise hand, or go to your participants tab and say raise hand. And then I will be able to see who all has a question, and then we will invite you to unmute. And the first victim is the awesome and amazing Copy Green.
Hello, David. I don't have a question. I just want to say to the group, if you're questioning about going to EPF Live, you gotta go. I'm going back for my second dose, kind of like the vaccine, because there's just so much fantastic information that David and his team impart that I couldn't absorb it all. I've gotten part of the way there, but there's some stuff I need refreshing on. And so I'm going back, and I just love to see everybody who can jump on with me.
Tremendous, Copy. Thank you. And I love the vaccine metaphor, by the way, that we got to keep. It's a booster shot. It's a marketing and sales and business growth booster shot. And I'm thrilled that you're coming back for round 2.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, David.
You're welcome. Who else has a question? Just raise your hand. The chat's kind of flying by fast and furious. I'm just looking on my screen here. Do the hand raise feature in Zoom. I'll see you pop up to the top of my screen. I will invite you to unmute, and feel free to ask your question about any of what we talked about today, any of the teaching, any of the training, any part of the model. Mr. Dan Ulan, go ahead. We just got to get you unmuted. There you go.
Hey, Dave, Dan Ulan here. How are you?
Good. Great to see you.
I'm looking forward to the event very much, and I loved the model today. I just wanted to also comment on your ability to be omnipresent. You were there this morning on Rob Goyette's training. I see you pretty much every day, and I'm just wondering, how did you clone yourself, and what's the process by which you did?
Fantastic question. Plus, I just realized my video was turned off there. I should have turned the video back on for the Q&A. So, trusted team. It's simple. I mean, I wish, oh no, it's a 17-part strategy, right? So, trusted team. So, when you see me on social media, liking, commenting, responding, unless it's something personal, that's going to be either Sam or Kim or Morgan. Because I don't need to be sitting there going like. I have a fantastic, amazing team, and they love to like things, and they love to respond. Hey, good job, great, awesome, fantastic. Now, anything more substantial, right? It's going to be me. So when you see a 1 or 2 sentence comment, that's not them, that's me. But that takes 80% of that work off my plate. Not just one example. I mean, even setting up this, so let's rewind the clock to 2014, the dark ages of 2014. What did David need to do to set up an event like today? And Sam's going to laugh here. Sam's going to she's either laugh or cry. So what did David need to do in 2014 to make today happen? Well, the short answer is everything, but let me expend a little bit of energy exhausting you. So I would have to set up the landing page. I would have to set up Zoom. I would have to set up the emails. I would have to do all of the marketing, right? Meaning social, email, posting, messaging, right? I would, what else? I'd have to do all the pre-event emails. I would have to grab the replay. I would have to post it. I would have to do all of the follow-up emails that have the replay, the crazy stuff, the bonuses. I will tell you what I do today. I do not do everything. I do not do any of the tech. I write the emails, but I don't set them up. So people say, do you write your own emails? The answer is yes. I write my own emails. Activating all of this is not me. So this is team. Pre-event emails are templatized, meaning I wrote them once, long time ago, and now we just kind of recycle and refresh. Because we're in the cloud, I'm no longer doing the replay. I no longer need to do the posting. I have written the follow-up emails, but again, those are systematized and templatized. So really, the only thing I'm spending my time on is this. This is, and again, for all of us, we each have our zone of unique expertise or unique genius. Because I'm a professional communicator, because I am a marketer, because I am a copywriter, I would never delegate. I look at an email relationship as a personal relationship, which is why you guys get so much email from me, because I love you and I want to help you. I want to bring you into what we're doing. I want to share and teach and coach and all of these different things. So for me to abdicate email would feel out of integrity for me. For me to abdicate everything else feels awesome. And Sam's going to laugh because I'm going to refer to my favorite line. Every email that comes in, hey, can you change my email address? Hey, I signed up for the wrong thing. Hey, I forgot the darn coupon code. I forgot to do this. Could you please refund my whatever, right? And get me in for the $97 rate. I now send one email and it says, Sam, please handle. I literally forward the email. Sam knows this. Our whole team knows this. All of our clients know this. This is my very favorite email that I ever send. And if I didn't have that trusted team, right, the 9th accelerator, we would no way have the business that we have today. But because we have an amazing COO, a fantastic director of operations, an amazing director of training, 3 fantastic coaches, fantastic admin team, incredible team across the board. I had this org chart of the future that I recommended for you. I had this built in 2015, 2016. At first, it was me, myself, and I. And then Sam came on board as person number 1. And then Teresa came on board as person number 2. And then Morgan came on board as person number 3. And slowly we just built out this org chart of the future. But if we hadn't had the plan, we would not have been able to realize it, or at least realize it as quickly as we did. So the fact that I can do 15 or 10% of the work has been a total revolution in our business.
So 2 quick comments. Is that all right? I'm
sure.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
totally. No, go ahead.
1 parenthetical comment and then 2 comments of some substance. One parenthetical one was that Nancy Jutton and I were having a very nice conversation about you after the rock thing. She's lovely and some great things to say about you.
I love Nancy. She's tremendous.
Yeah, she's awesome. 2 things that I just wanted to comment on that you do that are unusual. The first was an email that you sent out earlier today, inviting us to invite other people to this event that we're on right now.
Yes.
And what you did was you pre-crafted emails and social posts that we could do to send people to that. And it's funny because so many people ask you invite your friends, and so few people actually give you the tools to do that. And it's such a simple thing to do, but so often not done. And I appreciated that you did that and made it so easy to do that. For a professional communicator, it was a lovely thing to do, and they were beautifully crafted. The other thing you do is everything you do is accompanied by a graphic or a visual or a series thereof, and I really like that. It all comes down to sensory consumption preferences, but when the information is coming as fast and as furiously as it does from you, David, and it's coming pretty fast, it's really nice to have these visuals to go along with it, and I appreciate
Thank you.
Especially where they're downloadable on the replays, because I mean, take that diagram you've been working from, the Venn diagram you've been working from here, with all of those, the festival of intersections on that. It's very hard to digest that in real time. because
Right.
the information is so rich. Yes. So just wanted to comment on that.
Thank you. All hugely appreciated compliments. Thank you so much. All right, other questions? Who else has a question about any of the teaching, any of the 9 accelerators, questions about EPF Live, questions about anything we talked about today? Before I cut you loose to go make some beautiful money and go help some people. And again, just do the raised hand. I know there's people here like, hi, I'm waving. It's no, don't raise a physical hand. Raise your hand in Zoom so that you pop to the top of my screen and I can see that you've got a question or a comment or something to add. What else can we help with? Let me go back while you're thinking of a question. Let me go back past all of this wonderfulness. And this is really what it comes down to. I want to spend a minute talking about this. This is easier said than done, right? This is all easier said than done. If you're looking at gaps around one of your accelerators or multiple accelerators, it's very easy for me to sit here and say, hey, you know what? Something is missing. Go ahead and add it. Well, how do you know you're adding the right thing? How do you know you're adding it the right way? Is something messy? Well, Newman says, hey, tell you what, go ahead and fix it. So what our 3 days together is going to be, this is another question that I get a lot that kind of makes me nuts, because the name of my company, by the way, is Do It Marketing. So people go, will this just be more information? No, this will not be just more information. This will be implementation. And this is what I mean about you're going to get a workbook. So actually, day 1, you're going to get this workbook. The workbook is going to have the meatballs in it. We affectionately call them the meatballs, right? There's going to be 9 teaching components over the 3 days. This was about 75 minutes total across all 9. Imagine an hour on each one with an application exercise that you will take away with you to help you operationalize that particular accelerator. So you start with the workbook on day 1. By day 3, if I change colors here, by day 3, everything is filled in. You know what to do here and 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 here. And you have ideas, action steps, and metrics for each one of these. This is what's missing in 99% of conferences. 99% of conferences, you know where they stop? They stop here. I'm here to tell you ideas are worthless. You can have the world's greatest ideas. I got 2 books behind me filled with ideas. They're all awesome, they're all amazing, and they're all worthless until and unless you activate them and do something with them and deploy them to monetize them. So the missing ingredient in so many of these conferences that we are going to fix together, when you go to epflive.com, the coupon code is VIP, action steps, what to do with that idea. Not someday, not maybe, like that day, that night. There's going to be overnight assignments between day 1 and day 2. There's going to be other overnight assignments between day 2 and day 3. At the end of day 3, you're going to have marching orders for the next 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, and the next quarter. And we are going to invite you to measure what you're doing along those dimensions with some very easy to use metrics that you can start to track your progress and track your results. So that's why I'm so excited about EPF Live. It's not about, hey, let's do a 3-day webinar together. If we were doing a 3-day webinar together, I'd be bored out of my mind. I would go insane. The reason I love this event so much, the reason that it's a hands-on experience, is because you're doing work not after the event, you are doing work during the event, and then you know what work to do when you're done. Let's go over to George.
All right, David, love
Hey
it.
there.
So helpful. Love your energy, and it's not just hollow energy, but full of great content. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I had a question, probably like some number of people on the call, I do and offer a mix of things in terms of, what I do. So it's a combination of speaking, and there's consulting, and I have some sub coaches that work through me, and there's content. And as I look at the three meatballs, the ones that seem to get closest in terms of positioning, messaging, compelling offers, will this 3-day event, I guess my question is something along the lines of, almost like the business structure or offerings, because sometimes I feel a little psychotic, am I a speaker? Well, no, I do consulting because I do these programs, and then I shift over here and I've got this. And does the program help with the actual thing that we do? And then we move into offerings and messaging and such.
Yes and yes. So let me give you a little bit of insight about that. And this is an area where a lot of our folks struggle. And if I could just maybe reiterate and confirm that I heard you correctly, we got speaker, coach, trainer, consultant, right? I recommend that we don't really identify ourselves by our distribution method at all. So what you really are is you are a professional problem solver, and you have programs that are different levels of depth, duration, and detail. So a 1-hour speech is different than a 90-day coaching program, that's different than a 3-day boot camp, that's different than a year-long consulting package. So those are all different levels of depth, duration, and detail. One of the exercises, not to spoil the surprise here, but one of the exercises that we'll talk about when we get to offers is building out what I call your integrated product suite. And your integrated product suite looks like this, right? What is the gateway drug, entry level? What is the next level up? What is the good to great program? And then what is super premium, top of the pyramid? And so here, the reason that this is called an integrated product suite is when they buy this, there should be some automatic pull to buy the next one, right? They work better together, in other words. When they buy the third one, then it makes perfect sense to upgrade to the big one up here at the top. And this is typically increasing levels of depth, duration, and detail. And it's also increasing levels of access to you. So down here, this might be a digital course. Let's call this $997, right? No access to you, no access to me. They get the course. The course is awesome. Holy smokes, that's fantastic. Let's say you have a mentoring program that's built around the course. That mentoring program is $7,500. I'm sorry, you can't see over the writing here, but I put $7,500 in there. Over here, you have some kind of 20K program. And then over here, you have a long-term 6-figure, long-term consulting, 100K, 150K, 200K program. So this is more depth, duration, and detail. And at the same time, more and better and bigger access to you, but it still scales because now the only people that you're spending time with are the people that are closer to the top of this pyramid. And you're able to be exclusive. And then down here, right down here is you have your other people, other programs, subcontractors, licensing, training, whatever, right? So this almost goes to infinity. I mean, not quite, but it almost goes to infinity. You could sell 10 courses, 100 courses, 1,000 courses, or 10,000 courses to a big giant company like Microsoft or Oracle or IBM, and they would just write you a big gigantic check and you would never need to show up there. Whereas your long-term 3-year program with, consulting at the highest levels of XYZ Corporation, that's going to be your 250K consulting package that's up here. But the other thing, of course, that you get to decide is A, how busy do you want to be? And then B, how much money do you want to make? Some people don't want to kill themselves. They say, you know what? I'd love to make 300-400 grand and work 20 hours a week. And that model works great. Other people say, no, hey, listen, I've got lots of time, lots of energy. I'm good to go. I'm ready to work 40, 50 hours a week, and let's get me to 750K or $1 million or $2 million or whatever they want to do.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So the short answer is we're going to work on that. That's the short answer. But yes, so the whole integrated product suite, redefining yourself as a professional problem solver, and then figuring out what are the layers and levels of your offerings that can span speaking and coaching and training and consulting. It's actually good that you have all of those skills. It's not a liability, it's an asset, because now you have different levels of depth, duration, and detail built into your service model.
Okay, that's fantastic. And I guess during these 3 days, there might be some time, maybe in little pods or something, where we can brainstorm with others of what we're coming up with in that particular spot.
Absolutely.
Or other spots. Okay.
And we're going to have hot seats, and hot seats are by application. So if you have something really juicy and exciting and interesting, and I think last time we had probably at least 50 or 60% of the people who asked for a hot seat got one. There isn't time, obviously, over the 3 days to have 100%, but you know, all of the good ones, and I hate to say that, but the questions that other people could truly benefit from, and the hot seats that other people could truly benefit from, not just the hot seat participant, we got to a vast majority of those, and they were great. People love that portion of all 3 days.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
David, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? I'm happy to remand you to your custody. If we have one more hand raised, one more question, just go to the participants tab, hit raise hand, or go to reactions, raise hand. Otherwise, I can't see you all in all my strip of postage stamps here, but I'm happy to hang out until every question is answered. Questions about the teaching, questions about the event, questions about the curriculum. Back to George.
One last question, because I see I might have a conflict for one of the days or part of one of the days. Is any of that recorded if we miss a piece?
So I'm telling people, so you really want to be there in person because of all the experiential, all the different things you said. The hot seats, the masterminding, the connections, the breakouts, the mini trainings. I'm telling people 75%. If you can be there 75% across the 3 days total, you know, you have to step out, you have something that's not movable for an hour here, an hour there, 75%, it will be massively, massively worthwhile.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. All right, team. Well, I will let you go back to making some beautiful money, helping some people who need your help. Get signed up. I'm going to keep this open here for a little bit. epflive.com. Coupon code is VIP. You can see with my crazy scratchy handwriting here, hit the apply button. Don't forget the apply button. That's an important piece. Whee! And I cannot wait to see you at Expert Profit Formula Live. Very interactive, very hands-on, and you will leave with marching orders and a blueprint for your next level of success. All right, team. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you hopping on. This was great, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, team. Bye.